Phantasm Ii is the best in the series. I know what you're thinking. You're gonna say the first one is a classic, you can't beat it. And I agree, the first one is a classic. But I think that the sequel is so good because it doesn't have as many dreamlike sequences, as many like psychedelic elements. It's a stripped down, straightforward road trip movie, and I love road trip movies. Tommy Boy comes to mind, and I especially love horror genre road trip movies, and this is the ultimate. Don Coscarelli was forced by Universal Studios to either get rid of the guy that played Mike or to get rid of the Reggie, the actor that portrayed Reggie. And Coscarelli made the excellent decision to keep Reggie Bannister to reprise his role. And to me, Reggie is up there with Ash Williams in terms of just iconic horror characters. And just like Ash, Bruce Campbell, Reggie really brings his comedic chops, and it's on full display in this movie. I know a lot of people were sad including Don Coscarelli, to see the original Michael get replaced, but I gotta say that the Michael in the James LaGrosse, I believe is his name, he's an ass kicker. He definitely brings the toughness to the Mike role, and honestly, I think the kid that played Michael in the original Phantasm was great when he was a kid, but when he grew up, he kind of he definitely wasn't a tough guy. And I think that the series needed a tough guy, and James LaGrosse brought that. I also really like the chemistry between him and Liz. I thought that was a good direction to go in. It's neat that they have a love story like that in the middle of all these horrible things happening. The tall man is just as intimidating as ever. He has that excellent spooky quality, and in this movie, I would say his death scene is one of the most gnarly of any of the series. I would definitely say that the gore in this movie is pretty shocking compared to the first movie. They really ramp things up. I think in the first movie it was shocking when you first see the sphere, drill into the guy's head. But the spheres do a lot more than that in this movie. It gets pretty graphic. But like I said, I really like the relationship between Mike and Liz. And it's kind of funny because I was really eager after watching this movie to pick up the third one. And I don't want to ruin it for you, but you'll see what I mean as soon as you start watching the third one. It's kind of a shocking turn of events, and I really wish that they would have. I really wish that they would have kept the tone from the second movie. I just think it was perfect. The first one, it was neat to see the psychedelic. Like, is this real? Is this not real? What's actually happening in this timeline? It's a lot of it's ambiguous, and a lot of it's psychological, and I love that movie for those reasons. I guess Phantasm II is just more up my alley. It's just a rock'em sock'em brawler kind of a movie, and also there's the nostalgia factor, because when I was a kid I remember seeing glimpses of this on late night cable, and I thought, man, this is freaky. What is this? And I can't talk about this movie without talking about the iconic car, the 71 Plymouth Barracuda. I guess the car in the first movie was kind of an illusion, like it wasn't the awesome muscle car that we all thought it was. Like it barely ran, and it really mysteriously disappeared after that first movie. I know that Coscarelli really wanted to acquire it, and who knows what happened to it. But he still has the car, the one of the main cars that was used in the second movie. And I think one of the saddest scenes in cinematic history is when Mike accidentally flips the CUDA upside down and it burst into flames. And that was that really upset me. It still kind of upsets me to see that scene, to be honest, because it's such a gorgeous car. My goodness. And after this movie, they went to a convertible soft top Barracuda, and for me, it just wasn't the same. I was so eager to see them bring back this car, and they finally did for the fifth movie, and that made me very happy. Although I gotta say, they put a weapon rack on top of it, and the whole time I was like, oh man, I hope they don't scratch the paint. That was my thought. Like I said, the first movie is fantastic. The second movie is really just shocking in terms of the gore, in terms of the action. I could tell you one of my favorite sequences is when Reggie is in the basement of the mortuary, and he has a chainsaw fight with one of the goons. And it's so cool. It's too cool to for me to even do it justice in words. But let's just say that Reggie has the smaller chainsaw, and the odds are stacked against him. Another one of my favorite sequences in the movie, I thought it was a really smart move. They just picked up right from when the first movie ended. So right when Mike gets sucked into that mirror, boom, that's where the sequel starts. And I think the opening sequence is probably the best opening of any of the installments. Reggie just going to town on those little people, knocking them down the stairs, climbing up the laundry chute, jumping out of a house before it explodes. And that's another thing. Like, this movie had a $3 million budget, and there's a lot of explosions. I mean, there's a great, I think there's